Hey, what's up? This is Steven. You are watching PureHeart, and I have an interesting story for you guys. Now, if you don't like it, please, you're free to leave the video. That's fine. But some subject matters you have to be aware of because there's a lot of Christians who are in public schools and have parents that are in public schools between ages 5 and 12, even college. And we need to know what's actually going on in these schools. I know we know as Christians, we've heard stories, but do you guys know how bad it actually gets, especially in countries like Canada? Now, this is an international channel. It's not just for Americans. It's for anyone living anywhere. And I gotta give a little shout out to the Canadians. It's not always Canada's fault, you know? Just kidding. But yeah. Canada has been much more progressive in terms of the laws, the way they operate, because they don't really have a constitution like we do. So the way that their president operates is a lot quicker, right? There's a lot less, let's say, resistance per se, because the ideology is much more, we call it just less godly, right? The ideology is less godly. So we will be looking at this article relating to the schools in Canada, specifically US as well, but Canada for this article. And I will be hopefully out. There's nothing too crazy. Like the images are a little nuts, but it's not. It's also very abstract, so hopefully we can get over that part. We are all grown adults. Just don't have your kids watching this channel sometimes, because again, the last episode I talked about the entertainment industry, and this is almost just as important, if not more important, because they both have a very good hand in a way raising our kids without us realizing it. We are outsourcing too much to the education system and to the TV, right? So when parents go to work, whether it's two-parent household or one-parent household, we have to be very careful of what they watch, but we also have to be very careful of what the teachers are teaching the kids in these schools, because even if your kids are raised Christians, it doesn't mean that they're going to end up Christian. It just means that you have to keep track of what they're actually learning. And these days, the ideologies and the influence and the brainwashing is very, very strong. So the parents have to re-brainwash their kids. I'm saying all this before I get into the article, guys. So Canadian high school students give sex education materials on kink urine fetishes. So this is some weird stuff, guys, and I'm sorry about this ahead of time. And again, you can skip this video if you want to. Go to my other videos where I talk about film stuff. But this caught my surprise today. Talking about things like glory holes, this, that. It's nuts. See the picture right there? So it's really crazy. So the Minister of Education in Saskatchewan, I guess some weird name, in Canada. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, guys, I'm sorry. Canada has suspended Planned Parenthood from presenting in schools after the organization distributed disturbing sex education material to high school students. One of the resources provided by Planned Parenthood was called Using Sex from A to Z, which used cards to describe different aspects of sex or sexuality using letters of the alphabet. The resource sparked outrage among parents for its highly graphic content. So, like this, right? And maybe this, right? Just insane. So, starting with the letter A, the first card listed autophileo, which is described as the practice of a male performing fellatio on his own genitals. Be aware, it reads you can spread an STI from one area of your body to another through skin-to-skin contact, such as herpes score. So I don't even know what these terms are, but the point is, this is crazy. All right, guys. Like, it's getting worse and worse, and the American education system's already it's already going too far. So I do not enjoy reading this article, but I just happen to find it, and hopefully I can get better material. But this is important because we Christian parents, I'm not a parent, but I'm talking about the Christian parents as a whole, as a Christian body, right? We have to not be so ignoring, have ignorance of what's going on outside of our walls. Basically, the teachers, I don't enjoy reading this, but the teachers are giving excuses to why the teachers, the school board, whatever it is, to why they're doing all these kinky things with the students, giving them, and this is grooming, guys. This is what grooming is. I know this word is not good for YouTube, but I'm just saying that, it's, I mean, these pictures, look at this, all right? Being attracted to one's television set, yes, that is one hot little box. It's so, again, so this is a comment from, we'll get to the television set later. So the kids, this is Billboard Chris. The kids in Fort Nelson also received booklets about dildos and oral sex, all right? And this is a letter emailed to the school, I think. More details of the info for doubters. So I guess people were doubting him about something. And basically it says, scope of the grade 9 health curriculum. Planned Parenthood did share that a single cope of the resource was taken by a Lumsden High School student. We have contacted Planned Parenthood to have the resource removed from any PVSD school preventions. Staff will continue to do their best to preview material to ensure that it does meet the outcomes of the students. So this is, and it continues, you have any questions, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'm not sure if that's a typo, but whatever. So Lumsden High School. So yeah, so that's a letter. This is at the bottom, Prairie Valley High Division 208 would like to continue connecting, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, although the email claims that this additional reading was not in the scope of the grade 9 health curriculum, not even in the scope, guys, all right, of the 9th grade, not middle school, 9th grade. What's going on in middle schools and elementary schools? Similar things, guys, in the U.S. too. And that only one student took the card game home. Some child safeguards groups dismissed the school district's excuses. Nadine Ness, founder of the president of the Unified Grassroots, a collective of concerned parents in Saskatchewan, can't pronounce that name, took to Twitter to claim that the email from the school was dishonest and that several kids were exposed to this sexual explicit material. All right. Several kids grabbed some of the cards and were discussing them among themselves inside the outside of the classroom. Yeah, the email is incorrect. It's not just one student. It's not one student, guys. So this is from Natalie Ness. And still discussing that the left and NASC and NDP promoters are denying, minimizing, and justifying the actions of Planned Parenthood, who exposed 14-year-olds to explicit sexual content that repels even most adults. Yeah, it does. They deny this email is real. They deny the cards were in the, blah, blah. So this continues. And here's more pictures. And I don't really want to show this to guys, but I'm just let you know what's going on. So this is Twitter. And let's start now. Come on, Twitter. You got to be faster than this. Seriously, I think it's loading all the things. But yeah, so this is one of the posts. She said, I have spoken to parents personally. This happened and it should be condemned and investigated on how organizations like this one can come in and have access to our kids and each teaching anything that falls outside of the approved curriculum. Now, even if it's outside the approved curriculum, if the curriculum is approved but the parents don't agree with it, it should be unapproved, right? So we can't just go with approved curriculum. She's making this as an argument, but at the end of the day, we should have a line whether or not it's approved by some board, all right? As Christians, right? Especially. Attached are pictures of the email, blah, blah, blah. The card kids took home and discussed. So these are basically like what, I'm not sure if it's a picture, like, but the picture is this, like just different cards, just weird stuff, guys. This weird old stuff, like this, right? So again, I'm not showing you guys the lowest level PG version, because I don't want to show anything. But Chris Elton, and Canadian activist known for his criticism of gender ideology, also shared the materials on Twitter and reminded his followers that this is not the first time this card game has been distributed in Canadian schools. So yeah, they're treating this like some Pokemon game, like some Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. Like just like, oh yeah, here, this is just a card game, guys. It just has a lot of weird sex kinks in it. All right, so I'm not sure what they're trying to pass this off as, but at the end of the day, the kids need to understand that your parents may not like it, hopefully, but the parents are going to be watching this video, not the kids. So whoever's watching this should really think about what their kids are doing. Don't assume just because you're in a good neighborhood that your kids are not learning some weird stuff. Because sometimes the good neighborhoods are some of the worst neighborhoods when it comes to ideology. All right, guys? What you need is a culturally Christian. When I mean by culturally Christian, I don't mean Christianese, guys. I mean like legitimately like serious about the faith, Christian community, whatever you want to call it. All right? And the kids need to be around that community, not outside of it. All right? And the community is not just a specific place. The community is more of a culture. And if the kids are around the culture, whether it's from your church or your family, whatever it is, get them around that, especially outside of school, so they can kind of combat, negate, block the stuff that the public schools or even private schools are teaching. And that's my suggestion. Just based on what everybody else has said, based on the stories I've heard, based on what I've seen works. It does include homeschool, guys. It does include that. So yeah, they forced an apology, accidentally giving the same graphic sex education materials to 8th and 9th graders too. So despite can't pronounce that, education minister vowing that the ministry will ensure sex education materials are appropriate, he also notes that Planned Parenthood could be allowed to present at schools again in the future. Nobody wants Planned Parenthood anywhere near anyone. All right. So, and this is just a start, guys. I'm not saying things are not going to get worse, but I think it's getting better in the sense of exposing what's going on. And again, instead of going to church and just coming back home, going to church, coming back home, going to work, coming back home, going to church, speaking Christianese to your kids, your kids that may not understand what you're saying. All right, just saying. Just be real with your kids. Ask them questions. Can I maybe like don't you have to tell your kids that you're going to the school? Just sneak in a little bit and like, hey, can I watch your class a little bit? Oh, I have an appointment with my teacher or a teacher. I'm going to meet my kids at the classroom and something. It kind of sneak in before you come in and ask like, what are you actually teaching my kids? Ask your kids to carry a camera, record it, something. Be sneaky about it. I don't care. Break the rules. Well, if it's serious and you're a parent and you expect you think your kid is very suspicious of your kid being taught certain things, but you don't know. But you found out maybe during a specific time in 2020 where everybody was teaching online, and you saw some stuff, and you're like, okay, maybe I should actually record this, right? Find out what's actually going on at this school district, at this school, and be bold about it, guys. This is what Christians need to do. Stop being some scared little puppies, little kittens. You know, I know we're sheep, but we're sheep for Jesus. We're not sheep for the world. All right, guys, that's the difference. We're not pushovers. So we need to get out there, be aggressive, just like we used to do. And we let our line, too many lines crossed. And this is where it got us. All right, and we know, like in the Bible, the world is going to get worse and worse and worse. But does it mean that we can't get better and better and better, and more strict about our lines? Our lines have to get stronger. Our walls have to get stronger, in the moral sense, as the world gets crazier. The world gets more immoral. We get more moral, right? That's how it should be. So, hope that informed you guys about what's actually going on, because I, for one, almost don't want kids because of this. Just kidding. But we have to repopulate the earth, guys. But yeah, so still have kids, but just send them to good schools. Consider homeschooling. Just consider it, because it's not as bad as people say it is. Your kids are not going to be antisocial. There's other programs that your kids can join outside of your home. There's all types of programs that are specifically designed for homeschool people. All right. So hope that helps. Like, subscribe, share this specific video, especially because we need to get the word out, guys, to the Christians out there who are they may be into politics, whatever. This is not political. This is just spiritual, guys. This is spiritual. So we need to pray about this. Pray about it. Have prayer meetings or whatever you guys do in your free time. And yeah, hope that helps. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, guys. Hopefully this is the last time I mention this, because this was the first, and I mentioned media and stuff like that. But media is a part of it, but the education system, guys, you're talking about like how many hours a day? 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours a day in school, right? That's a long time, depending on the school, obviously. And your teachers are raising your kids, so just be careful about that, guys. And God bless.